Jones Intercable Sports presents our high school basketball game of the week. Tonight, we come to you from East Aurora High School. It's an Upstate Eight Conference matchup between the Larkin Royals and the East Aurora Tomcats. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mark Kruger. Well, the East Aurora Tomcats and the Larkin Royals, the Royals undefeated in the Upstate Eight Conference at 11-0. East Aurora is 8-2 in conference. I'm Mark Kruger. I'm joined by a 1984 All-Stater for Hinckley Big Rock. He still holds the record, by the way, folks, for most points in a super sectional with 55. We bring in my colleague Jim Edmondson. And Jim, big ball game here for East, a victory, and they can be back right in the thick of this conference race.
Definitely, with Larkin 11-0 overall, and Elgin Larkin 11-0 overall, East Aurora 8-2 overall, with a little help maybe from someone else. And if East Aurora can win this game tonight, they can do something here this evening.
There you take a look at the conference standings. Overall, Larkin 18-3. Overall, East Aurora 14-4. St. Charles a game behind East at 9-3. And Jim, the last time these two teams met back on December 15th, I tell you, East had it. They were up 8 with a little over 2 minutes left to go. They let it slip. Larkin won by 3, 52-49. That has to be in the mind of the East players tonight.
Definitely. The key point to that last game that was played, East Aurora missed a 1-and-1 with 7 seconds to go. And Elgin Larkin came down and hit a three-pointer to take the lead. Then there's some fouling going on and whatnot. But I'm sure that East Aurora will come out try to revenge that this evening.
East Aurora leading the conference in scoring. They're averaging over 70 points per contest, Jim. As for Larkin, well, defensively, they're top in conference, only allowing 47 points per game. So, Jim, something has to give tonight.
Well, definitely. With East Aurora, an up-tempo style of game that they like to play, pressing. They only do put the press on, however, when they feel that they really need it. And Larkin, with the big people in the middle, like to slow the ball down, work it around, and keep it from the outside, make you shoot outside shots.
Jim, looks like we're going to have a jam-packed crowd here tonight. What are going to be the keys for both ball clubs tonight?
Okay, for Elgin Larkin, what they're going to have to do is limit turnovers. That way, be able to control East Aurora's press and get the ball up and take care of the basketball. And with Larkin, also take the crowd out of it, get the lead early. And also for them is hit from the outside. I'm sure East Aurora will be packing it back in, making the shoot from the outside. If they can hit some threes and get that early lead. For East Aurora, they're going to have to set the tempo, possibly with that press if they come out with it early, and neutralize Simpson, their big gun. The last couple of games he's been playing like an all-stater. He's had 15 and 17 assists respectively in their last 2 games, and he's one of their top scorers at 14.4.
Okay, so now the last time these two teams met, the last 6 times these two teams have met, Larkin has won every single game. So stay tuned. We got the starting lineups and the opening tip-off for tonight's Upstate 8 Conference matchup when we continue after this timeout.
Want to do something really nice for your friends? Next time you go out with them, if they're going to be drinking alcohol, offer to be the designated driver for the evening. That means you stick to non-alcoholic drinks and drive everyone home safely. Next time, one of them can do the same thing for you. You could be saving them from being arrested or having a serious accident. You could even be saving their lives. Now that's what I call a friend. For more information on drinking and driving, write the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
My mom used to drive me to basketball practice. My mom used to play tennis, swim, and shop. Now she needs help just answering the door. My mom has multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is a debilitating disease of the central nervous system that affects adults between the ages of 20 and 40. Currently, 500,000 Americans are believed to have MS. Many of them can lead satisfying and productive lives in spite of their limitations, but we need your help. Give to the Multiple Sclerosis Society. It can happen to anyone.
All right. right, it's 9:17 in the morning. Hey, did you see the paper? Another food made the FDA's hit list. Yeah, just walking into the kitchen can give you cancer. Better sell the basement, too. Radon. I'm getting out of the house. No, wait a minute. The sun will get you. Skin cancer.
If you're concerned, have questions, call the American Cancer Society. Our people will give you the facts, the truth, the personal guidance to do what's right. To ease your mind, call the American Cancer Society.
Hey, where are you safe? Standing in the woods at 3 a.m.? Oh, no, I tried that. Yeah? I got mugged by a bear.
Every year, Americans throw away 25 billion polystyrene cups.
$1 out of every $10 we spend on food pays for packaging.
Less than 1% of the plastic we use is recycled.
Every year, we throw out enough office and writing paper to build a wall 12 feet high stretching from Los Angeles to New York City.
Buy stuff that's recycled. Recycle the stuff you buy. Take it back.
Jones Intercable Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight, our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week is coming to you from East Aurora High School. An Upstate Eight Conference matchup between the Larkin Royals and the East Aurora Tomcats. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Mark Kruger. Two top teams in this conference. The Larkin Royals come into tonight's ball game undefeated in the Upstate 8 Conference with an 11-0 mark. They are 18-3 overall. As for the East Aurora Tomcats, well, they've got 2 conference losses. They are 8-2. East is 14-14 overall. Glad to have you with us here tonight. I bring in my colleague, a 1984 graduate of Hinckley Big Rock, an all-stater that year as he averaged just over 24 points per game, led his team to the quarterfinals with a 24-3 record. He went on to play 3 years at Northern Illinois University. He still holds the current state record in a super sectional game with 55 points. My partner, Jim Edmondson. And Jim, to tonight's game, 11-0 Larkin, 8-2 East. The Tomcats need a win tonight to get back into this conference race.
Definitely. Tomcats need a win here to give themselves a chance later on to perhaps catch Larkin with some help from someone else in the league also.
Last time these two teams met, Jim, was back on December 15th. And I tell you, East had that one wrapped up almost. They were up by 8 with a little over 2 minutes to play, but Larkin came back to win it by 3, 62-59, and that game has to be on the mind of these Tomcats.
Definitely. The crucial point of that game being that East Aurora missed a one-on-one situation with 7 seconds remaining in the game. Elgin Larkin came down and hit a 3 and ended up winning the game. So believe me, East Aurora will be pumped up to play this one this evening.
Also helping us tonight as we go down courtside, a gentleman who is a senior on the Aurora University basketball team, Keith Avery. And Keith, what have you got for us?
This is Keith Avery here at East Aurora High School. I've just been informed that East Aurora star center Warren Brookson will not be in action tonight for some disciplinary reasons put on him by Coach Scott Martins.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. And that definitely is going to be a big key with him out of the ball game. And Jim, in conference play, East is leading the conference in scoring. They're averaging over 70 points per game. Meanwhile, Larkin's defense tops in the conference, just averaging 47 points they're giving up. So something has to give here tonight.
Definitely. You've got 2 teams here with contrasting styles. East Aurora, a press team, likes to get it up the floor, look for good shots. Larkin, a slow-down ball club with their big men inside, like to move it around a lot and slow the ball down.
Jam-packed stadium here tonight at East. And Jim, quickly, what are going to be some of the keys for both East and for Larkin?
Well, for Larkin, it will be to limit the turnovers and basically keep East Aurora's press under control. They'll also need to get a lead early, take their East Aurora crowd out of it, and hit from the outside because you expect East Aurora to pack it back in, play a zone against them. For Larkin, you're going to have to set the tempo early. Like I said, they want to slow it down, get it into their big men, and get some fouls. East Aurora will also have to neutralize Simpson. The man has just been on fire the last couple of games here. He's been scoring points, dishing out assists. He's got 30 assists in our last 2 games. And definitely the revenge factor for East Aurora, as I said earlier.
Big build-up for this one. This game has been talked about all week long, and now it has finally arrived. By the way, the last 6 meetings between these two teams were won by the Larkin Royals. So East Aurora at home trying to break that 6-game losing streak against Larkin. The lights have dimmered here, and we are about ready for our national anthem.
At this time, I'd like to present Ms. Trinity Rade, President of the East Aurora Student Council.
It has been an established tradition here at East Aurora High School that before we make our pledge of allegiance, we pause for a moment of silent prayer for everlasting salvation. Please remain standing while the national anthem will be performed by the team here, the Hindi Heart representing the East High Music Department.
About ready. Fans have piled in. They have seated. We should mention that the sophomore game here tonight between East and Larkin was won by East by a score of 58-56. Our officials for tonight's game, Tom Kleinschmidt and Jerry Rupp.
After that national anthem, everybody should be pumped up.
Beautiful rendition of our national anthem.
We hope you will enjoy the game and support your
between number 19th ranked East Aurora, number 16th ranked Larkin Royals. And now let's go to our public address announcer, and here's Dick Paul.
And now the starting lineup for tonight's Upstate Eight Conference game. For the Larkin Royals, at guard, 6', 2-inch senior, number 32, Greg Cornott. At guard, 6', 4-inch senior, number 34, Dan Engel. At center, 6', 8-inch senior, number 51, C.J. Asp. At forward, 6', 3-inch senior, number 44, Michael Ives. And at forward, 6', 5-inch senior, number 23, Sherrick Simpson. The Royals were coached by Mr. Dominic Canano.
Simpson the key there, Jim. He's the leading scorer, averaging 16 points per game, 8 bounds for the Royals.
He's also the second leading scorer in the conference. The kid has skills. He can really do it all. He's been, as I said earlier, he has been dishing out the rock rather well, too.
Now here's East.
senior, number 42, Alex Donaldson. At center, 6'2" senior, number 44, Bruce Brissett. At forward, 6'3", number 52, Booker McKinney. And forward, 5'11" senior, number 30, Kevin Savage. Contact coached by Mr. Scott Martin. The officials for this evening's game, Mr. Tom Kleinschmidt, Mr. Jerry Crump.
We mentioned earlier, East Aurora overall 14-4, 8-2 in the Upstate 8 Conference. As for Larkin, 18-3 overall and undefeated in conference at 11-0.
I noticed that East Aurora's put Bruce Brissett, and he is one of their best outside shooters also. So look for East Aurora to mix it up a little bit with him and try to confuse Elgin Larkin with pulling him inside and outside during the game.
Jam-packed crowd here at East Aurora, Larkin and East. Simpson and Kevin Savage to jump center. Tip is controlled by Larkin and we're underway. Here come the Royals, quickly on the attack. East starts out man-to-man, knocked out of bounds. Off of Larkin, a nice play there by number 52, Booker McKinney, and East will take over.
That should get him pumped up a little bit. He's got a big job tonight inside guarding the 6'8" guy.
Here comes Donaldson. And it goes off the hands of McKinney, so on the turnover, Larkin will take over. And here's that full court pressure here, Jim, as Hornick will inbound for Larkin. And there's a turnover right away. It was not deflected, and it will go East ball.
I'm surprised they came out with it so early. As I said, in the past, they've only used it in second quarters or when they've been down a little bit. They're trying to shake Larkin up a little bit here in the beginning.
Williams, Savage, Donaldson, Brissett, McKinney for East. This is Savage. He drives the middle, loses it. Hornick traveled. Hornick had control, but he fell to the floor, and more often than not, the official is going to call a turnover, a traveling violation.
Definitely, especially in high school ball here. They don't like much banging in high school.
Mark Kruger, Jim Edmondson here at East Aurora. Inside to McKinney. It is short, will not go. Rebound by Savage. Out of bounds to Larkin, and Jim, both teams a little bit rusty here early.
They're looking a little sloppy here, but I think it's more adrenaline than anything. Give them a couple minutes here. I believe they'll settle down, get in their offenses.
Simpson gets it stripped by Savage. Simpson almost has three-stolen. Here's Donaldson at the top. They'll set things up. 7:17 left to go. Opening quarter. We're just underway here at East. Savage looking over to Brissett. Low left is Donaldson. Inside to Brissett. And it is blocked. No foul in the play. It will remain East ball.
East Aurora trying to take it at him, going in early to Brissett. He did take it to the hole. Coach Martins had been criticizing him a little bit earlier in the season that when he did get it in the paint, he wasn't looking to score. He took it right at him that time.
Knocked out of bounds off of Savage's hands, and it will turn the ball over to Larkin. And quickly, Scott Martins will make a substitution here as James Pewitt is at the scorer's table. He will come in, and Kevin Savage will sit down next to Coach Martins.
Savage hadn't been starting earlier in the season. He started this particular game, but they get back to Pewitt right away. Maybe Savage a little bit more comfortable coming off the bench.
Over a minute gone by, no score here at East. Here's Simpson. He'll dish it back out to Hornick, and he'll hit it. Greg Hornick puts the Royals on top 2-0 with the outside jumper. East comes back, and again, it's knocked out of bounds by Larkin.
Beautiful pass by Brissett, one hand down low.
Had Tyrone Williams, but it slipped through his hands, out of bounds off of Larkin, and East will inbound. Grissett loses the ball. It's picked up, offensive rebound by Williams. So Williams with the offensive rebound and the putback, and we've got our first tie of the ball game, tied at 2. There's a three-pointer by Engel, and he hits it.
Elgin Larkin hitting their outside shots early. That could come in handy for him later on in the ball game.
Back is Grissett rimming, will not go, rebounded by Ass. Gives it up to Hornick. The Royals with the three-point lead and the ball 5-2. Inside to Eit. Eit can't hit it, gets the offensive rebound, will not go, but a foul called on James Hewitt.
Now early here, Elgin Larkin hasn't been going to their main gun, Simpson. I'm a little bit surprised at that, but it doesn't hurt a little bit to get some offense from elsewhere on their team.
Our Jones Intercable Sports Game of the Week is being brought to you by Luigi's Pizza. Luigi's is located at 380 West Galena in Aurora, the first and finest pizza since 1953. Give them a call at 896-9861. That's 896-9861. 2 free throws by Engel are good, and Larkin leads it by 5. 7-2 here, 5:39 left to go, opening period. Two top teams in the Upstate 8 Conference, East Aurora and Larkin. This is Donaldson from the free throw line. Alex Donaldson with 2, and the lead is 3, 7-4.
Easton a man-to-man all over.
Hornick driving baseline, and he walks.
Putting pressure on their guards and not making it easy for them to get the ball into the paint.
On the turnover, East with possession. Larkin playing a man-to-man also.
He seems like they need to spread the floor a little bit more and get some room so they can operate with their speed.
Weak side to Pewitt. Pewitt with the 8-footer, and he hits it.
There you see the drive on the baseline, sucks the defense in, kick it to the other side underneath.
Almost a turnover there on the backcourt. Simpson crosses the timeline for Larkin.
Williams almost came up with the steal. He's one of the top stealers in the Upstate 8.
4:36 left to go, first period. Larkin leading by 1, 7-6. Here's Hornick on the drive, and a foul call, a reach-in foul, and it looks like Greg Hornick will be at the line to shoot 2.
Tomcat foul number 24, Tyrone Williams, his first.
Foul is on Tyrone Williams. That's his first, team second, as Grissett will sit down. Kevin Savage checks back in for the Tomcats. It was before the shot, so the Larkin Royals will take it out of bounds inside to Simpson. His shot won't go, and here comes East.
He didn't look prepared for that one. East Aurora running off the missed shot, getting the ball out quickly on the outlet. East Aurora is one of the best rebounding teams in the Upstate 8. They lead the league with Larkin right behind them. But with East missing their big gun, Warren Brookson inside, it could hurt them.
That pass deflected out of bounds. It will go to East ball. The Tomcats with the first lead of the ball game, 8-7. 4 minutes left to go, first period. Hewitt low left to Savage, looking inside. Now he'll bring it back to the free throw line. Low right is McKinney. McKinney guarded by Asp. One-hander is no good, and Engel rebounds for Larkin. Here comes Simpson.
I don't know if Booker McKinney, or Asp, I should say, can guard Booker McKinney out that far from the basket if Booker gets off some nice shots.
C.J. Asp hits the baseline jumper, and he is fouled, so C.J. will be at the line for the three-point play.
C.J. Asp shooting 1.
Foul is on Kevin Savage. That's his first personal and the team's third. C.J. Asp, a 6'8" senior. He connects the three-point play.
He's been shooting very well from the free throw line. His last game he hit 5 of 7.
Here's Savage as he drives the left baseline, and Kevin is fouled, so he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And we saw the speed there of Kevin Savage, Jim.
Definitely. One of the reasons I think he was inputted to the starting lineup, he has nice dribbling capabilities, can penetrate. Not that well of an outside shot. I'm surprised that Larkin's playing a man-to-man on East Aurora because they do not shoot the ball that well from the outside.
Savage at the free throw line, hits the first one. Cannot hit the second one, but the offensive rebound by McKinney. And East takes the lead, 11-10.
Just as good as a three-pointer.
McKinney was just in the right place at the right time there. Back on top. Here's Hornick from the outside. Will not go. Rebound to East. Quickly on the attack. Loose ball. Here's Savage from the free throw line. Will not go. Offensive rebound by Sams. Here comes Larkin. Simpson drives the lane. He'll dish it back out. Hornick thought about it. Now he shoots the three. Rimming will not go. Rebound to East.
Rod Ellis passed up that first shot. He had a nice shot there from about 10 feet away. Surprised he passed it up. Needs to put that up. He had penetration from Simpson, and they didn't get a shot out of it.
East with the ball with 2:15 left to go here in the opening period. Savage cannot hit it. Offensive tip-in is good. And the Tomcats lead it by 3, 13-10. Simpson left. Inside to the big fella Asp, and it looks like it will be goaltending. Count the bucket.
Now that time down, East Aurora didn't get any type of double team inside on Asp. The double team came from the weak side a little late, and they got the goaltending call.
David Moore, Bruce Grissett back into the lineup for Coach Martins. Royals are coached by Dominic Canada. His assistant is Tim Jones. Loose ball on the floor. It's finally picked up by East. Tyrone Williams on top. Williams to Savage, the fake. The layup off the glass. Kevin Savage.
Beautiful shot. Beautiful turnaround in the lane.
And a turnover at the other end. Turns the ball over to East Aurora.
Terrence Clark got a little excited on that one. Had a wide open man cutting to the basket. Just a little too much oomph on the ball.
Here comes East. They've got the ball and a three-point lead here. 15-12. Just over a minute left to go here in the opening period. Moore cannot hit the driving layup there. That was Deion Sams. It goes out of bounds to Larkin.
I believe Asp got a piece of that from behind. Nothing can replace size.
Coach Martins, a lot of substitutions. Donaldson comes back in. Omar Magana checks in for the first time for Coach Martins. He will go 9, maybe even 10 deep tonight, folks.
Now, sometimes that can work against you. You get a group of guys in that are functioning well, and you come in with someone else. But the Tomcats have been doing it all year, and it shows that they're working with a record of 14-4.
Loose ball there is picked up by Rod Ellis. Back on top. Low left. Knocked out of bounds by Tyrone Williams. It will remain Larkin's ball. Hornick to inbound for the Royals. On top to Asp. Inside to Simpson, and he lays it up and in.
Jarrett Simpson.
So Simpson scores his first 2 points, and the East lead is 1. This is Magana at the point. Guarded by Blaylark. side, and the layup is good by Alex Donaldson. Alex with 4 points. 5 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. Inside to the big guy, and C.J. Ass with the dunk.
Beautiful drop step by the big man. One large step on the baseline and to the basket. You got to like that in a big man.
C.J. Ass with the dunk. That's the end of the first quarter with East leading it. As we've got an injured player there, we'll get to that when we come back at the end of one. East 17, Larkin 16. Back after this.
Looks like they're set.
Selling this paper called Streetwise, a non-profit organization designed to help the homeless. Paper's only $1, 25 cents goes to the publication, and 75 cents goes to the homeless. If you ever see anybody with this badge and this paper, they're homeless, and they need your support.
Along with our producer-director Steve Moga, Mark Kruger, Jim Edmondson, Keith Avery, back here at East Aurora, where the East Aurora Tomcats lead after the first quarter by a score of 17-16. I believe that was Bruce Brissett who went down. Let's go down to Keith Avery. Keith, what have you got for us?
Yeah, apparently Bruce Brissett twisted his ankle on that last basket by Larkin. But he seems to be all right. He laid there in pain for a few minutes, but he got up and walked out on his own ability. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Back to action now as Deion Sams goes baseline to open up the second quarter here, and East with a 3-point lead, 19-16. Back comes Larkin on the attack. Dan Engel and a blocking foul on East. Foul is going to be on Tyrone Williams, a 5'11 junior. That's Tyrone's second personal foul. So Dan Engel will be at the line to shoot 2, Jim.
That's a nice drive by Engel. He penetrated, crossover dribble in the paint, was taking it to the hole hard. You've got to be able to attack this East Aurora man-to-man defense like that.
Jim, I tell you, C.J. Ask for Larkin is only averaging just over 5 points per game. He had 7 first quarter points here tonight.
You like that out of the big man, especially in a big game like this. He's stepping up.
Engel 1 of 2 from the line, but Larkin remains in possession of the basketball. This is Greg Hornick calling out the offense. 19-17, Larkin with the ball, trailing by 2. This is Engel from the outside, and he hits it. So Dan Engel ties the game at 19. He's got 8 points to lead the Royals. Now here's East. On top is Magana. He dishes. Deion Sams drives baseline, and it will be a jump ball, and on the alternate possession, it will go over to Larkin. Savage in for Magana. 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. We're tied at 19, East and Larkin. Larkin undefeated in the Upstate 8 at 11-0. East Aurora 8-2 in conference, so a very, very big ball game to say the least here tonight. There's a turnover. Tyrone Williams pulls up at the free throw line, dishes it back out to Donaldson. And East will set things up. This is Savage with a jumper, but he is fouled.
East Aurora is going to have to convert on these turnovers. You see them pressing right at the start of the game. They will have to capitalize on all these turnovers.
Jim, the Royal foul will be on Dan Engel. That's his first personal foul. And Kevin Savage will be at the line. Kevin with 7 first quarter points of his own, and he really penetrated well for Coach Scott Martin.
That's his main game, Kevin's game there. He's going to penetrate, get some fouls, can create some openings for his teammates by dishing off. That is his game.
Kevin splits 2 free throws.
Number 14, James Hewitt.
We see James Hewitt come back into the ball game for East. Deion Sams will sit down. East with a 1-point lead here, 20-19.
East is moving them in and out, aren't they? They're going to keep him fresh for this press.
Simpson now brings it over the timeline. Baseline is Blaylark. Blaylark puts it up. Air ball. Rebound by East. Here comes Hewitt. Hewitt looks inside and he
Beautiful
finds
pass. Beautiful pass. Caught the Larkin front court a little flat-footed there.
Booker McKinney with the bucket. And a nice pass there on the other end to Blaylark from Simpson.
Simpson, you see the reason he had 17 and 15 assists his last couple of games.
Past weekend, Larkin with 2 victories. As Jim mentioned, Simpson with 30 assists. So he can not only score and rebound, but he can dish the ball as well.
Now, that's the first time also, last time Larkin down, that they scored off East Aurora's press. Anytime a team is pressing, you should be able to come up with layups at the other end.
Donaldson's shot from the free throw line is no good. It looked like it hit the bar right up there on top of the backboard, Jim. They will negate that bucket, and Larkin will take over.
In high school basketball, if it hits any part of the rigging on the rim or goes over the backboard, there's no count if the ball goes in.
East crowd did not like that call. Here's Michael Eit for Larkin, back on top to Simpson. 5:46 left to go first half.
Now there again, Larkin didn't attack after they got the ball to half court. They had numbers, they had a 3-on-1, but they did not attack. And that's something they're going to have to do to get the easy baskets out of this press.
Hornick looked inside to Eit, and Eit traveled with the ball. On the turnover, East will inbound with a 1-point lead here, 22-21. Both teams have gone man-to-man throughout the ball game here tonight. Savage, standing dribble on top, now gives it over to Williams. Donaldson low right. He'll drive, pull up from 10, and he's got it.
Good patience by East Aurora that time out of their offense. Very good patience.
Donaldson with 6, and the East lead is 3, 24-21.
Now they've got numbers here, and they're not attacking.
Gives it to Hornick. Hornick from 18 will not go. Good position there by Ask, and it looks like CJ was fouled.
Now, when they first come down off that, they've got to attack because East Aurora only has 1 man back. They've got 3 guys going to the basket. Even as you saw there, Ask getting good position, and that shot didn't come as early as I would have liked to have seen it.
Jim, the foul was on Booker McKinney. That's his first. Left baseline shot by Hornick, no good. Rebound to East. Here comes Savage.
Larkin double teaming the ball.
Someone's going to be open. There's a left baseline jumper, air ball. Offensive rebound by McKinney is good.
If Larkin's going to double team the ball up top, East Aurora will have that 10 to 12 foot jump shot open, and they're going to have to knock it down.
That full court pressure by the Tomcats turns the ball over, and it will be East ball. It's good to see Bruce Grissett back out there on the court. Looks like he is all right. There's the back door to Savage. Good.
Good inbounds play. Good execution. Simpson bringing it up.
Savage, the first player to reach double figures. He's got 10, and the East lead is 7, 28-21. Make it 5 as Dan Engel hits from the free throw line. Dan Engel, a big game here. He's got 10 points to lead the Royals.
Engel's got a nice soft touch. He got the kind roll on that shot. Hit the front, the back, and rolled in.
Hewitt and Ellis will check back into the ball game, and on the turnover, Larkin will inbound.
East Aurora in the 1-3-1 zone offense.
First time we're seeing a zone here tonight. Simpson drives the middle, dish it out to Ellis, and he walked.
Simpson is setting up his guys. He's penetrating, kicking the ball. They have the shot right away, and they're trying to get closer. Maybe Simpson needs to go to someone else that's going to put it up from that distance.
Jim, so far the big buildup for this game is tempo. East line to push the tempo, and so far in the first half, does it favor one team or another?
I think right now with the style of play does favor East Aurora a little bit, but with Larkin's scoring total is a little misleading. With their guys, they can put some points up on the board. They've got a couple guys averaging around 10, 14 points in that nature. If everybody's doing their thing, they can stay with East Aurora.
There's a steal by Rod Ellis and the dunk.
He kicks up rather quick.
Rod Ellis, he sure did. Slams it home for his first 2 points, and the East lead is 3.
I guess I see why he's not shooting from the inside. Likes to go to the basket a little bit.
Tyrone Williams back on top to Pewitt. Tell you, that looked like Edmondson a couple years back when he played for Hinckley Big Rock in Northern Illinois, huh?
I didn't get down the court quite that fast.
Offensive rebound by Grissett. Will not go, and here comes Larkin. Trailing by 3. Engel on top. Here's Simpson for 3.
Savage is playing a complete game. He's got a couple boards there. He's scoring. He's playing a very nice game.
He takes it all the way to the baseline. He brings it up, and the official calls a jump ball. Tom Kleinschmidt calling the jump ball, and on the alternate possession, it will remain East ball. Crowd not liking that call.
Not at all. I think there, though, maybe Savage pressing a little bit, forced it in. He had Bruce Grissett in the corner, as I said earlier, one of their best outside shooters. If he had kicked it off, Grissett had an open 3 from there.
Number 34, David Moore, into the Tomcat lineup, replacing number 30, Savage.
David Moore back into Scott Martin's lineup. Savage sits down. 28-25, East by 3 with 2:24 first half. Hewitt, low right, will not hit it. Rebound to Ask. Ask gives it to Hornick. Hornick pushing it uphill. Fired from 20, rimming, will not go. Rebound by McKinney. The big guy, oh, he knocked it off his foot. I was just going to say, Jim, the big guy bringing it down court. Back the other way is Hornick. And an offensive foul by Greg Hornick. No basket.
And I'm surprised that Larkin pushing it down like they are. Maybe they're showing that they can run also. Down by 3 now.
That's the 3rd team foul for the Royals.
Next time down the floor, Larkin needs to slow the ball down and go inside to their big man. He's got a definite height advantage here, and he has played a good first quarter. He hasn't done too much here in the second. They stopped going to him.
Magana looked inside to McKinney. The pass broken up. Here comes Larkin. Simpson goes baseline, and another offensive foul as Donaldson took the charge from Simpson.
Looked like a rather weak call. There wasn't much contact on that.
If anything, I thought it would have been on Donaldson as both players were moving, but maybe he thought that Simpson used that elbow a little bit, Jim.
Could have gone against the defense or just a plain no call. A little touchy there, especially in this big a game.
Could be a home court call there. 1:38 left to go. Here's Moore. Rimming no good, and the rebound by Engel. Larkin trailing by 3. They've got the ball.
As you said, Larkin slowing it down, working their offense here.
Engel low right. He'll bring it on top to Hornick. This is Blaylock, left baseline, and he's got it.
They worked it very well there. Got a nice 10-foot jump shot. Nothing wrong with that.
Terrence Blaylock with 4 in the second quarter, and the East lead is 1, 28-27. Here's Moore, guarded by Blaylock. Back on top to Magana. Backdoor pass to Grissett is broken up, and here comes Larkin. Engel.
Didn't have the numbers there.
Blaylock had the loose ball, and another jump ball. Now the alternate possession, Larkin takes control.
He didn't have the numbers, and he forced it inside.
So Larkin inbounds underneath their basket with 36 seconds left to go.
Number 22, Deion.
Substitution as Deion Sams checks back in as Booker McKinney will sit down on the East bench. Inbound to Engel. Low left, this is Hornick for three. Rimming will not go. Here comes Magana. Magana has the numbers. He gives it to Donaldson and he scores.
Case there, the little man giving it up to the big guy for the assist, coming down the middle.
Give credit to Magana with the assist. Donaldson has 8, and the East lead is 3, 30-27. Hornick thought about it. Will not go at the buzzer by Terrence Blaylock, and we have played one half of basketball here at East with the host Tomcats on top of the Royals by a score of 30-27. Jim and I will take this timeout and be back with some halftime festivities here at East after this timeout. We are back, and we are at halftime here at East Aurora with the host Tomcats on top of the Larkin Royals by a score of 30-27. First half statistics for East, well, they were led by Kevin Savage. He had 10, Alex Donaldson with 8, Booker McKinney with 6, Tyrone Williams, James Hewitt, and Deion Sams each had 2 points for Scott Martins. As for the Royals of Larkin, they were led by Dan Engel. He had 10 first half points. C.J. Ask had 7. Terrence Blaylock with 4. Greg Hornick with 2. Sherrick Simpson held to only 2 first half points. And Rod Ellis with that big dunk. And Jim, we were talking up-tempo game, but still the score favors Larkin a little bit.
Definitely. They only have 30 and 27 points here in the first half. Like I said, it does favor Larkin in the point scoring. You'd think it would be a much higher scoring game considering the speed of the game.
Also, we got courtside now a gentleman who I believe has a special guest. Let's go to the senior basketball player on the AU basketball team, Keith Avery. And Keith, what have you got for us?
Here, I'm Keith Avery here with Gina Peters of the East Aurora's girls Tomcats team. Gina, what happened to you guys last night?
We were, I guess, under pressure, so we just froze, I guess.
You think West Aurora was too much for you guys?
No, because we beat them the first time we played them.
How many games do you guys have left?
2.
Against?
Thursday we got Elk Grove, and Saturday we got Wabansi.
You think you'll come out victorious in those 2 games?
We hope so.
Okay. That's all for now. Back to you, Mark.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. Halftime here, East on top of Larkin by a score of 30-27. We'll be back with more of halftime festivities here at East after this timeout.
Diana Sanchez, an 8th grader from Simmons Middle School.
If you took away a star for every 1 million people who didn't vote, and a stripe for every 5 million non-voters, and a patch of blue for the 10 million people who didn't care, exactly what kind of flag are we waving?
I'd like the filter lights, please.
The hundreds. Soft pack?
The thin ones. In a box.
The menthol kings? Yeah, the green guys.
Every day, 500,000 American kids buy their cigarettes from a friendly neighborhood pusher.
The 100. Soft pack.
I'd like the filter lights, please.
Hey, 2 packs. Wouldn't want to run out.
Vending machines don't know any better. But what about the rest of us?
How well do you know the person you're intimate with? Let's say you've had 2 sex partners in the past year, and each of your partners had 2 other partners the year before, and so on for the last 9 years. It's as if you've slept with 512 people. Any one of them could have given you the virus that causes AIDS. Find out what to do now. Call the toll-free Illinois AIDS hotline. All calls are anonymous.
The energy saved by recycling just 1 aluminum can could operate a television set for 3 hours.
For every 4 feet of newspaper you recycle, 1 tree is saved.
The energy saved by recycling just 1 glass bottle could light a 100-watt bulb for 4 hours.
It's good to recycle because the world can get trashed up and we don't want that to happen in our world.
Buy stuff that's recycled. Recycle the stuff you buy. Take it back.
Brothers and fellow mountain goats, this year's recipient of the treasured Black Horn Award, Richard Lynch. Come on up here, Dick.
What are you doing this weekend that's so important you can't take a little time to test your home for radon? After all, it is the 2nd leading cause of lung cancer, and a radon test kit is inexpensive. You could pick one up on your way to the lodge.
People who deal in drugs ride in expensive cars. The same can be said about people who use drugs. If you or someone you know has a drug problem, call Habilitat before you get the ride of your life.
You wouldn't want us to show you 3-day-old Janice Thompson. So instead, we're showing you her lungs. You see, Janice was born with what's known as low birth weight. She was only 1.5 pounds. Because Janice's mother didn't know that getting pregnant was any reason to see a doctor. Janice sees lots of doctors now. A message from the March of Dimes.
If you'd take a star and put it next to a house, if you could, a star would be like 20 feet bigger than the house. When it's nighttime in our world, it's staying in their world.
By providing 70% of all television designed for children, your local cable company is making sure there's more to kids' TV than Saturday morning.
If there's no gravity right now, you can jump all the way over those trees. All of them.
Wow.
What you wanna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. I'd keep falling in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of love with you.
Well, with our Producer Director Steve Moga, Mark Kruger, and Jim Edmondson back here at East Aurora. We are at halftime with the Tomcats holding on to a 3-point lead. Leading scorer Kevin Savage is in double figures for East. He's got 10. As for Larkin, Dan Engel is in double figures for the Royals. He also has 10 points. And Jim, we looked ahead to the second half. What's going to be the key here now for East Aurora?
Keep doing the things that they have been doing with the press, working the ball around when they don't have anything on the fast break.
Let's go down now to Keith Avery, who's got a special guest. Keith, who have you got for us?
It's Keith Avery here with Athletic Director of East Aurora High School, Cliff Pencil. Cliff, well, I heard that there's a potential problem with the athletic budget for next year. Could you enlighten us on that?
Well, the entire district, not only the athletic department, but many of the departments and schools are suffering cuts. But in the athletic department at the high school will be reduced in the number of coaching. What I feel most bad about is the loss of the junior high football and volleyball program. That's a real serious blow to our athletic department.
Maybe they'll come up with some sort of funding, privately or openly. Thanks.
Well, we hope. For a vote.
Back to you, Mark.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. And yeah, we heard so much about the athletic department and the problems with the schools and the teachers, and we certainly hope that they can straighten everything out. The teachers can be happy. The athletic programs can remain in the DuPage area. And we are about set to begin. Second half action. East with the ball and the 3-point lead here.
Ozen Larkin comes out in a man-to-man, pressuring all over the court.
Bruce Grissett picks up his dribble, guarded by Simpson. Now gives it to Donaldson. Donaldson will set things up.
Engel playing off Donaldson a little bit, giving him some respect with his speed.
Booker McKinney guarded by Asp. Low left, here's Tyrone Williams, and he cannot get it to go. Cleared by Hornick. Sherrick Simpson with only 2 first-half points. Inside to Blaylock, and he hits it.
Another nice pass from Simpson.
Quickly at the other end. Tyrone Williams converts. Tyrone with 4. All alone, a breakaway dunk for C.J. Asp. He's got 9.
Looks like a missed job there on the fast break. No one got back.
Yep. Quickly, Tyrone Williams hits the turnaround.
Somebody gave him something for halftime. 3 shots, he's hit on 2 of them.
Quick buckets, there's a turnover and a foul call, a pushing foul on Dan Engel.
Royal foul number 34, Dan Engel, his second.
That's his second and the team's first of the second half.
Replacing number 24, Williams.
Hewitt into the ball game. Williams sits down now. Alex Donaldson will inbound under East basket. Grissett off the glass. Bruce Grissett with his first 2 points, and the East lead is 5.
As you always say in any basketball game, the first 3 minutes after a halftime are oh so important, and East has come out with the fire.
Engel drives, and he kisses it off the glass. So Dan Engel has 12. He's averaging just over 13 points per game for the Royals.
Now, something you see so many times in high school basketball, guys on the East Aurora team on defense aren't talking. Bruce Grissett gets beat by his man. Nobody comes over to pick him up. That's just a case of guys not talking and recognizing what's going on the floor, because that needs to be stopped. They can't give up layups and help to win this game.
Jim on the drive by Donaldson. Dan Engel picks up his 3rd personal foul, so he's going to sit down with 12 points. That's going to be a big key. Joe Nelson comes into the ball game for Coach Canada. Rebound, offensive rebound by Grissett, and he is fouled.
They're hitting the boards hard here, aren't they?
Bruce Grissett with a couple of nice offensive rebounds here. So Bruce will be at the line to shoot two. And Jim, coming over here, you came here with Bruce's father, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did. He told me that Bruce was going to have a good game. He was pumped up for this one. So far, he hasn't showed it, but he's done some good things on defense, and he did hurt his ankle early in the game.
Come out here in the second half, hitting the offensive glass. 1 of 2 from the line. He's got 3, and the East lead is 4, 37-33. Joe Nelson double teamed in the corner. The steal by McKinney. Rimming will not go. The rebound pulled down by Simpson. Up top to Blaylark. Blaylark off the glass. Nice assist there from Simpson to Blaylark, and Terrence has 8. Grissett, turnaround off the glass, will not go. Simpson the rebound. And an over and back violation there by Williams. Tyrone can't believe it, Jim.
From my vantage point here, I'm sitting right at half-court line. It wasn't over and back. He had touched the ball before he had crossed the half-court line.
Did look like a good call from up here, so the Royals with the ball trailing by 2 here. 5:27 left to go, third quarter. Turnover and a foul, a pushing foul called. I believe that's going to be on Sherrick Simpson. And if it is, I've got him with 3 personal fouls. So the Royals in a little bit of foul trouble as Dan Engel on the bench with 3, and Simpson also has 3.
He's leaving him in the game here. He still hasn't got involved offensively too much for Elgin Larkin. He's had some nice passes, but he needs to put some points up on the board.
Williams with the turnover for East. Well, there is Coach Kanata going to his bench as we see Rod Ellis jump off quickly, and now Sherrick Simpson has to sit down.
Looks like he did decide to sit him down here. Hopefully the kid can sit down, get his head together, and come back in and put some points up for Elgin Larkin.
We should remind you at the top of the telecast, we told you that Warren Brookson, the leading scorer for East, is not playing. Disciplinary actions. Warren's been averaging 16 points per game for East, over 9 rebounds for Coach Scott Martins. He is not in action tonight.
The reason I heard that he's sitting down this game, as I said, for disciplinary actions, he had missed a curfew call by the coach. Got in a little too late.
Williams with the layup at the other end is C.J. Ask.
Now you're starting to see Larkin get layups out of that press, as I said before. No one is rotating back, and if this continues, East might have to call off their press, or hopefully the steals will outweigh the layups.
Asp in double figures. The senior has 11.
Scored 7 points in the first quarter, didn't score at all in the second. Like he's back into things here with 2 dunks.
East with the ball, leading by 2. Turnaround by McKinney, but he is fouled.
Now in high school, anytime a guy moves his hand down when going for a block, 9 out of 10 times you're going to have a call against you. I know coaches preach it and preach it and preach it for their guys to go up and keep your hands straight up, because as soon as you bring it down, you're going to hear the whistle.
Booker McKinney at the line for East, shooting 2, 6'3", 208-pound junior. McKinney with 6 first-half points. Looking to add to the Tomcats' 2-point lead. Will not go. The sophomore game between these two ball clubs was won by East as the Tomcats pulled it off by 2, 58-56.
East Aurora as a team is only shooting 58% from the free throw line. Elgin Larkin topping the Upstate 8 at 63 or 63.9, which really isn't too bad for a high school team.
McKinney misses both free throws, but on the turnover of Larkin, East get the ball back, and now they turn it back over to Larkin. Here's Blaylark all the way with the left hand. Blaylark in double figures. He's got 10, and we're tied at 39. 4 minutes left to go, third quarter. And Jim, it looks like this one's going down to the wire here tonight.
Definitely. If you notice something about East Aurora, they always seem to start their offense on the right side of the floor. They're not bringing it over to the left. It makes the team a little bit easier to guard when you cut off the other side of the floor and everything's compacted into one corner.
They got the ball inside to McKinney that time. He was fouled by Rod Ellis. That's Ellis's first personal foul, and East will inbound. James Pewitt will do the honors for the Tomcats.
Coach Martin brings some different guys in maybe to get them fired up a little bit on offense, get something going. Brought Savage back in, who was their leading point scorer at halftime.
James Pewitt. On top is Booker McKinney. Free throw line, no good by Savage. He gets the offensive rebound, and Kevin puts it in off the glass.
His elevator goes to the penthouse. He got up on that rebound.
Savage has a dozen, and the East lead is 2. Larkin having trouble in the backcourt. There's a turnover. Savage to McKinney. Out of bounds to East Aurora. But there's the quickness of Kevin Savage once again, Jim, creating that turnover.
I think East Aurora was pressing when Larkin got off the bus.
Joe Nelson sits down for Larkin. Savage, as he is hammered, going to the hoop. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. The foul is going to be I believe that's going to be on number 24. That's Myron Johnson.
That really wasn't a bad foul. Savage had got him into the air. He had a sure layup. Decided to put him on the line. As I mentioned earlier, East not a very good free throw shooting team.
Savage hits the front end of a 101.
Naturally, as soon as I say something.
Savage with 13. That could be a key, though, down the stretch, Jim. Free throws, so important down the stretch.
Definitely.
Kevin with 13, looking to add to that. And he does. He's got 14 to lead all scorers.
I'm glad he was able to prove me wrong.
Brissett back into the ball game. McKinney sits down. East with a 4-point lead, 43-39, just over 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Pass is deflected by Pewitt. It will remain a Larkin ball. Greg Hornick to inbound for the Royals. Hope you're enjoying tonight's Upstate 8 Conference matchup. 2 top teams in the conference, Larkin and East. Here's a strip by Williams. Tyrone lays it in. Williams in double figures. He's got 10, and the East lead is 6. Larkin can't get it to go. Scramble on the floor, and it looks like it's going to be a jump ball.
Tyrone Williams, one of the top steal leaders in the Upstate 8, averaging 3.5 a game. You see why. Just came by and took it from him. That's just heart and desire there.
Boy, just the quickness of a Tyrone Williams, of a Kevin Savage. It's really exciting and fun to watch, Jim.
Any up-style game like that where you got guys playing man-to-man defense, guys are banging a little bit out front.
I tell you, it's starting as the ball is knocked out of bounds. It will remain Larkin ball. Jim, starting to get a little bit more physical as we see the intensity start to rise just a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say he's definitely trying to up the tempo even more so here in the second half.
Massive substitutions here. Tyrone Williams sits down as Alex Donaldson comes into the ball game. 2:30 left to go, third quarter. Hornet drives baseline and a blocking foul on Tyrone Williams. And the Larkin crowd liking the call.
I don't believe Larkin's had a call for themselves here in a while. Larkin crowd loving it.
Alex's first personal foul. Larkin from the outside is Greg Hornick. His shot no good. Trying to save it. Here comes East. Magana with the ball and a 6-point lead. East does. Knocked out of bounds by Hornick. It will remain East basketball.
As I said before, the style of play right now favoring East Aurora, but Larkin can't hang with them. Their last game on January 30th, they scored 93 points.
Tyrone, I should say that's Alex Donaldson driving as he gets fouled.
East Aurora filled with a lot of guys. They're all around the same height, good dribbling capabilities, can handle the ball, penetrate, draw those fouls.
Myrons Johnson gets called for the personal foul. He sits down as Jeffrey Harper checks into the ball game for Coach Kanata. Donaldson at the line, shooting one and the bonus. First one, no good. Rebound struggled for, and a foul called.
You have to wonder about Larkin on the offensive end. They're not going into Ass a lot. Like I said, in the early going of the game, the first quarter, he had 7 points, and they since haven't really gone to him. He's got the 2 dunks at the other end. But it's just surprising with the height difference why they're not going into him.
Foul is on Savage. That's his second personal foul, so Larkin to inbound. They get it into Blaylark. Blaylark is double teamed in the backcourt. They finally get it up to Ask, and the Royals will set things up. Hornick at the top of the key. Back up to Harper, an air ball, out of bounds to East. Jeffrey Harper just new to the ball game, Jim. You have to question that shot just a little bit.
He didn't look like he was set to take it, trying to get into the books. Hopefully, they say when you come into the game, you either get a basket or make a mistake and you're in the game. I believe he'll be in the game now.
Booker McKinney gets the offensive rebound and lays it off the glass. Booker with 8, and East with an 8-point lead. Greg Hornick gets double teamed in the corner, looking for a timeout, and he will get it. So with 1:30 left to go here in the third quarter, East Aurora on top by 8 by a score of 47-39. Jim and I will be right back after this timeout. There you get a good look at the head coach of the East Aurora Tomcats, Scott Martins, yelling out instructions to his East Aurora Tomcats. And Jim, Greg Hornick getting double teamed, wisely called a timeout there.
Yeah, he didn't have anybody open there. The press looks like it's getting to Larkin a little bit. They called the timeout. Hopefully will help them come out and be a little bit more relaxed, get guys into the proper spots. They have scored a couple layups here in the second half, which they did not do in the early going of the game. Hopefully they can get it together here again.
Tyrone Williams with 8 third quarter points to lead East Aurora. He's got 10. The leading scorer for the Tomcats is Kevin Savage with 14. So Larkin will inbound. Michael Eitz will inbound for the Royals with 1.5 minutes left to go third quarter. They get it up to Hornick. Hornick and the reach-in foul, and a good call there by Magana.
Hornick didn't have the numbers. He took it a little too deep. East Aurora bailed him out by fouling him.
Third team foul.
East Aurora looking to give Larkin its first conference loss of the season. The Royals come into tonight's game with an unblemished conference mark of 11-0. That shot by Ass, no good. Here comes East. Ask gives it to Eitz for the Royals. Here's Greg Hornick. Hornick guarded by Donaldson. And a reach-in foul, I believe.
East Aurora's going to have to stop reaching in and move their feet.
Jim, that's the second reach-in foul in the last couple of minutes by Magana. That's Omar's second personal foul.
And you see Coach Martin's coming in with some new guards up front, get some fresh legs. That's one of the signs of being tired. Guys start reaching and not moving their feet.
Greg Hornick with a nice reverse layup with the left hand, and the East lead is 6, 47-41.
He welcomes Tyrone Williams to the game.
Booker McKinney cannot get it to go, and Asp clears for Larkin. Here comes Hornick, and he'll bring it back out. He'll come right back in from 10 off the glass, no good. Rebound, McKinney. 33 seconds to go, third quarter. East leading by 6, 47-41.
See if East will hold it here for one shot and work it around. Got a 6-point lead.
On top is McKinney. Here's Hewitt. Inside to Williams. I should say that's Hewitt, and a foul. Excuse me, I believe that's going to be a goaltending call there, Jim. Give the credit, give the bucket to Tyrone Williams.
Epps got there a little bit slow on that, on the rotation.
Hornick has his shot blocked. Here comes East, 6 seconds, 5, 4. McKinney, here's Brissett, no good at the buzzer. So we played 3 quarters here at East. The Tomcats lead the Royals, 49-41. Back here at East Aurora, Mark Kruger, Jim Edmondson, Keith Avery, and our producer-director, Steve Moga. 10 third-quarter points by Tyrone Williams. Jim, they've got an 8-point lead as we are about ready to begin fourth-quarter action. One thing for Larkin, quarters number 1, 2, and 3, Jim, they've averaged 14 points during each one of them quarters throughout the entire season. Their big quarter has been the fourth quarter, in which they've averaged 18 points per game. So we'll see if the Royals can come out with some points here in the fourth quarter.
Hopefully, if they can neutralize East Aurora's press. They're still going to have to get it up over that.
East looking for the victory. So they'll be right back in the thick of this Upstate 8 Conference, running with the victory here at home against undefeated Larkin. McKinney gets it blocked, he gets his offensive rebound and puts it in.
Larkin's guys are going to have to notice the block and come help when they get it and get the ball back. Now let Brooks get the ball back again 2 feet in front of the basket.
McKinney's in double figures with 10, and the East lead is 10, 51-41. Hornick now, this is angle low right. And Larkin having a little bit of trouble offensively. Simpson goes baseline, and Sherrick is fouled.
Simpson's been shut down basically so far. They took him out there in the third quarter with 3 fouls, sat down about the 6-minute mark, didn't get back in. East Aurora's defense just looking excellent here. They're forcing Larkin out on the floor beyond the 3-point line to start their offense, and they're not getting in close to the basket.
Larkin's leading scorer, Sherrick Simpson, held to 2 points here tonight. Asp looking to give the ball up. McKinney is not coming out on him. Now he gets up there. This is Engel as he drives out of bounds to East Aurora.
Credit that to East Aurora's defense. That man-to-man is stifling right now. Larkin needs to do there is get some sharp, clean cuts and set good picks to the basket.
East with the ball and a 10-point lead. Hewitt off the hands of Booker McKinney, out of bounds to Larkin.
Booker McKinney not ready for the pass there. Looked like a wide open pass.
Here's Hornick, guarded loosely by Hewitt. He gives it to Simpson, low right. Almost a steal by Savage. Now the turnover. Here's Hewitt. James Hewitt to the hoop. He's got 4, and a foul call, I believe, that's going to be on Bruce Grissett.
Now, in that particular one, all Grissett needed to do was hold his ground. He tried to go for the steal. He would have had the charging call if he hadn't moved his hands for the steal there.
East leading by a dozen, 53-41. Terrence Blaylock now, guarded by Williams. East applying that man-to-man pressure. Here's Simpson as he drives to the hoop, and a foul call by Donaldson.
Simpson's got to do that. He's got to take the ball to the hole here. It's time for him to step up here in the fourth quarter. He's getting fouled going to the basket, something he hasn't been doing in the first 3 quarters. That's why he's only got 2 points.
Simpson held scoreless in the middle 2 quarters. He had a bucket early on in the ball game. Free throw is good.
The kid definitely has skills. He's quick off the dribble, can get up. He needs to go ahead and take it to the basket, especially during this man-to-man. He's not looking for the ball at all.
6:21 left to go. Simpson hits both free throws, and the East lead is 10, 53-43.
Larkin might want to think about some isolations for Simpson to create some things for themselves.
Williams in the backcourt. Crosses the timeline, Savage, Kevin. Gives to Donaldson, and Donaldson will pull it back out. Donaldson guarded by Simpson. Almost a steal by Blaylock. He goes out of bounds. Scott Martin's up off the bench. He's not happy. 6 minutes exactly left to go in this one. East with a 10-point lead and the ball. Here's Donaldson. Booker McKinney got Asp in the air. 15-footer hits it.
It's one of the things I mentioned earlier. I don't think Asp can guard McKinney out that far from the basket. He got him up in the air there. Seems to be a little bit quicker than Asp.
McKinney's got 12. East lead is back up to 12. Larkin cannot hit. Here's Kevin Savage. And a traveling violation by the senior. Turns the ball over to Larkin.
That's a case there. Simpson set up his man with the behind or between the legs pass, and he had the open 15-footer.
Simpson gives the ball up to Engel. Engel hits it.
He needs to start going to Engel. If Simpson's going to pass it off, he needs to start going to Engel. He's not scared to put it up.
Engel with 14, the leading scorer for the Royals. And a jump ball as McKinney is tied up. And on the alternate possession, it will give the ball over to Larkin.
In that particular play, I saw Coach Martin screaming, wondering why McKinney has the ball on the press. Need to get it to Williams, Grissett, or Donaldson.
Larkin looking to cut that lead to single digits. And a blocking foul. Crowd looking for a travel. Instead, they're going to give the foul to Kevin Savage, his 3rd personal foul.
Late whistle on that call. I believe if he hadn't have fallen down, there might not have been a call.
And Jim, I can't help but bring this up, but this is almost the same situation. The last time these two teams played, East had an 8-point lead with 2 minutes to go. Larkin came back, missed free throw, no good by Engel. Simpson gets the rebound, puts it in.
Simpson is silky smooth. Nice little head and shoulder fake, like he was going to spin back.
Grissett cannot hit it. Offensive rebound by McKinney. 8 second-half points by Booker McKinney. He's got 14, and the East lead is back up to 10. 4:36 left to go. Laylar gives it over to Engel for 3. Will not hit it. Out of bounds to Larkin. East Aurora player flying into the stands. We'll see if he's okay. Trainers coming out to take a look. Scott Martin's walking out to see if he's okay.
So what's his name to get a shot?
Well, I couldn't see it. It was right underneath there, Jim, but one of the East players, there you see them all huddling together.
Looked like Tyrone Williams, he got the ball. I don't know if he turned his ankle when he landed.
Number 20.
That could be a big loss for East Aurora.
Got the ball in midair, and Jimmy, he didn't have no one to pass it to, so his momentum just flew him into the stands. And yeah, it was Tyrone Williams. He's getting up. It looks like he's going to be all right. Tyrone Williams going hard into the stands here. He's walking off. There you see him. Looks like he's going to be all right.
You like to see a player get up and get off the floor and under his own power after something like that. I have a feeling he'll be back.